Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM News 10 at 10. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. This is where we give you more news in less time, so let's get started. Several Coeur d'Alene City Council residents actually questioning council this evening about the racial harassment incident that happened to the University of Utah women's basketball players last week. Most people were there asking council to do more to stop racism in their community. Our Nicole Hernandez was at that meeting tonight and has more. Nicole?
So Whitney, I talked to the Coeur d'Alene police chief right after today's meeting. He said investigations like this take time, but he is hoping to have more solid information for us in the next few weeks. In the meantime, people living in Coeur d'Alene still are not satisfied. Person after person came to the stand with the same concern.
I appreciate and I support the apology to our visitors and the effort to investigate and prosecute the perpetrators. But I would say that we can't stop there. We need to also focus on proactively shifting our culture and preventing this from happening again.
Only one speaker took the opposite side, upset the whole community is under fire.
Disgusting. Slander is what it was. Where's the evidence? I would like to know.
The council says they do know, though, something happened.
Just because you don't know about a video doesn't mean something didn't occur, and a young woman certainly doesn't have to have a video to prove themselves that something occurred.
Beyond the incident last week, the executive director of the Human Rights Education Institute told the council people have been reporting more hate crimes year over year.
These vary from graffiti on bridges and park areas, an elementary student being called the N-word as they exited the bus, pride flags being stolen from multiple properties and off of a person, a student actually, and destroyed in the bathroom, homophobic and racial statements on the boulevard.
In 2022, the Institute had 22 reports. In 2023, 39. And this year, in just 3 months, they've already had 18.
But I would also say that our community's worked really, really hard to be welcoming and to overcome any sort of stain that we might have had in the past. There's a lot of people that have worked really hard to do that, and I think we can do that.
These residents asking the council, though, to do more to stop these incidents. In Coeur d'Alene, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Also on the agenda tonight, Coeur d'Alene City Council approved another $1.2 million to expand the police department headquarters. That means they can now break ground on that project. They're going to be adding new lockers, workspaces, and security measures. The project is expected to cost just over $6 million. Council approved most of the funding back in 2022. But since then, the police department has gotten a much better idea of what the expansion will actually take. They say this project is long overdue.
Our police station was built in 1999, and at that time, our police department had 75 total employees. If you asked anyone who was here working at that time, they would tell you that the building was full on the day that they moved in.
The police chief says they are hoping to have a groundbreaking ceremony later this month. Now to Nightbeat with a quick look at the day's top stories. We now know the identity of the man Spokane police shot and killed Sunday night while responding to a house fire. Originally, police had said he was the one who started the fire, but now SPD says that was not the case. His name was Alan Jenks. It turns out the 30-year-old lived in the home that burned. Police have now arrested 43-year-old Nicholas Whitney. That's the man you just saw. According to new court documents, Whitney told the people living in the home that his cousin and sister were going to burn it down. Just a few minutes later, the people in that house said they saw smoke. Whitney was already under supervision by the Department of Corrections for other charges. The court set his bail today at $100,000. Jury selection continued today in Boise for the Chad Daybell murder trial. The state and the defense asked potential jurors if a possible death sentence might impact their ability to give a fair and impartial verdict. Yesterday, just 16 people passed to the next phase. Today, they selected 4 more for a total of 20. Ultimately, they will need 12 jurors and 6 alternates to move forward with trial. As the landscape of Washington State University continues to change, the school announced a finalist for the role of provost. Dr. Chris Riley Tillman is currently the dean of the College of Education and Human Development at the University of Missouri. 2 other finalists have yet to be revealed, but whomever is hired will replace current provost Elizabeth Chilton. She's held that role for the last 3 years. And that was your Nightbeat. If you'd like to learn more about any of those stories, just head to our website, krem.com. In the meantime, the provost isn't the biggest staffing position to fill at WSU, not by a long shot. Sports director Travis Green is joining us now in the studio with a few other major shakeups. Travis?
Yeah, Whitney, it's been a busy day down in Pullman. Of course, WSU searching for its next men's basketball head coach. The day started with Matt Logie opting to stay at Montana State rather than taking the WSU job. And then tonight, It ends with Eastern Washington's David Riley being announced as the Cougs' new head coach. It'll be an easy move for Riley, Cheney to Pullman. He's no stranger to the Inland Northwest. Riley was born in Seattle and played college ball at Whitworth. He then worked his way up the ladder at EWU for over a decade before taking over as head coach in 2021. In his 3 seasons leading the Eags, Riley compiled a 62-38 record with 2 conference regular season titles and earned 2 Big Sky Coach of the Year honors. He will now be a busy man shaping a Cougs roster that has been seen an overwhelming majority of its players enter the transfer portal. On the hiring, Washington State interim athletic director Ann McCoy said, quote, "We are thrilled to have David Riley leading our men's basketball program as we look to build on this season's success. Throughout the process, Dave's coaching acumen was evident, as was his ability to create a winning culture." Sticking in Pullman, however, it appears Charlize Ledger-Walker is not. The star guard has reportedly entered the transfer portal. Ledger-Walker was amidst another terrific season in Pullman before her 2023 campaign was cut short due to a torn ACL. She is one of the most decorated Coug women's basketball players of all time, earning All-American honors 3 times. Now it appears she is taking her talents elsewhere. Whitney?
All right, Travis, thank you very much. We want to switch gears and talk weather now. Sunshine and 70-degree temperatures now coming to an end, at least for a little while. Let's get right to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legou, to tell us more about the incoming rain.
Yeah, when it comes to the overall weather pattern, what a stark change in the days to come. Believe it or not, we're still in the 60s at 10 p.m. I'm not getting over just how warm we currently are, but that warmth is playing a huge role in what winds up happening the next couple of hours. You see it there? Let's go ahead and slowly zoom in. It's now forming in northeastern Oregon, and that is our round of storms that's eventually going to make its way into the Palouse. Already having a bit of convection. Look, you can see the thunder and lightning coming out of those storms. All right, you can see the lightning bolts on the radar, but that's what's headed for the Palouse. We'll see those showers roll through in the next few hours. Look, forecast models now putting a little more moisture in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene overnight, and it looks like they put a little more up near us throughout the day tomorrow. Still keeping most of it down across the Palouse, but I think our best shot at some of those thunderstorms is going to be overnight and down to the south. We are a bit breezy tomorrow, and our high, it's in the 50s, a far cry from the 70s of today.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. And wild weather is hitting several states all across the country tonight. In the Midwest, places like Ohio are seeing winds strong enough to knock over RVs and semi-trucks. Major flooding washed over homes and roads in Pittsburgh, and a late round of snowfall in the California mountains is extending ski season. And in other national news, brand new sonar photos are offering a first look at the broken and twisted wreckage of the Francis Scott Key Bridge underwater. Take a look. These photos show what cannot be seen from above the surface. Up to 90% of the bridge sank to the bottom of the shipping channel. Today, though, did show signs of progress. The first ship was able to pass through one of 2 temporary channels, although none of those channels are big enough for the biggest ships, leaving a major port shutdown and 8,000 jobs in limbo. A powerful earthquake rocked the island of Taiwan just hours ago, measuring in at a 7.4 magnitude. The impact collapsed buildings and created a tsunami that washed ashore in southern Japan. Tonight, we do know 1 person has died and more than 50 are injured. That's where you can see some of the damage that was done. Some of those buildings now resting at a 45-degree angle. That earthquake struck Taiwan about 8 a.m. local time. In the meantime, an Israeli airstrike killed at least 7 aid workers from the World Central Kitchen as they were trying to deliver food to civilians in Gaza. Officials say it appears their convoy was hit multiple times, including a direct hit to a car that was clearly marked with the group's name. Israel's prime minister called the incident tragic, but also said, quote, "This happens in war." The U.S. has demanded a swift and impartial investigation. World Central Kitchen says it is now pausing operations in that region.